Hey guys, welcome to my third video. Today we'll be doing a deep dive into Daniel Larson, who you guys may have come across on TikTok. He's become quite an apparent figure on social media. Just as a warning, the topics we'll be discussing includes like racism, pedophilia, physical abuse, and things like that. So if that bothers you, feel free to click on now. So Daniel Robert Larson, who was born on November 15th, 1998, which makes him like 26 years old now, is an American YouTuber, TikToker, singer/songwriter, and actor. He is a controversial online figure who gained notoriety through his erratic behavior and online presence. He attracted a lot of attention on social media due to a lot of controversial things that he has done. To be fair, this guy has had quite a bad upbringing. He was homeless several times and has been in and out of rehab centers. He was also diagnosed with autism, although I don't think this excuses any of the actions that he has done. Larson's rise to fame began with his active engagement on platforms like TikTok, where his eccentric personality and musical aspirations got the attention of viewers. His content, often characterized by a mix of earnest performances and unpredictable behavior, quickly went viral. Larson's audience grew as users shared his videos, both celebrating and mocking his unique online persona. This blend of fascination and ridicule fueled his internet presence, turning him into a polarizing figure who was as much a source of entertainment as he was a subject of controversy. As Larson's fame grew, so did his troubles. His behavior escalated, often drawing concern and criticism from viewers. As of December 2024, Daniel has been to jail for a total number of 7 times, 4 for being a fugitive of justice after repeatedly not attending court, 2 for assault, one of which being to his own mother, and 1 time for making terrorist threats against the government. Daniel has also found himself with charges for destruction of private property, petty theft, trespassing, criminal mischief, and so on. Despite this, Daniel has hardly faced any incarceration, and his stays behind bars were typically brief. So the next part of this video, we're going to be doing a timeline of all the times where he was taken to court. So our timeline starts on 2017 on November the 6th when he was arrested for third-degree assault after getting into a physical altercation with his wheelchair-bound mother. This ended up with him being sent to jail for around 45 days. It is still unknown what caused the situation. However, he claimed that it was aggravated after his mother allegedly cornered him, causing him to push her to the side. On this day, Daniel also received charges for instances of property damage and criminal mischief, although again the cause is unknown. Fast forward 3 years, in 2020, Daniel was reported to the FBI following the leaking of his Pinterest account in November, which contains several saved pictures of children as well as a map of the age of consent across all of the states in the US. As of September 2023, his new Pinterest account has also been found, filled with more images of little girls. Nobody was aware of this account until he leaked it himself, which is quite embarrassing. Several TikTok users, including the Delegation podcast, were under the assumption that Daniel was under the possession of illegal images of minors, which resulted in him being reported to the FBI as a result. These reports sparked the first dark age, where Daniel left the internet for about 3.5 months, coming back to TikTok in March of 2021. It is still unclear what truly happened and what the legal proceedings were, although Daniel claimed that on several occasions when he was investigated by the FBI, he was unable to show his face until further notice, and at a later date claimed he was cleared. A year later, in 2021, he was charged with destruction of property on August the 13th for smashing the window of a car. Because of this, he was summoned to court. He failed to appear 4 separate times, and as a result had $350 worth of fees imposed on him via bond forfeiture, and warrant fees. $100 worth of fees have been paid, leaving $250 due. Although on August the 29th, 2022, his destruction of property charge was dismissed. In 2022, on May the 13th, Daniel was charged with petty theft based on the location of violation 516TH-ST #120, which was the location of a Hard Rock Cafe, suggesting that it was a target of just one of Daniel's dine and dashes. He seems to do dine and dashes quite a lot, but we'll get more into that a little later on. On June 9, 2022, a criminal mischief case was opened against Daniel. After failing to appear once, the warrant was executed and he was arrested during his October 16th tantrum. Daniel was appointed a public defender on October 25th, with his plea and setting hearing on November 28th. On August the 4th, 2022, Daniel uploaded a video announcing that he had gotten all of his warrants taken care of by merging it all into one case, saying that it should be cleared up within a month. While it's unclear whether that's valid or not, it is most likely that his cases were merged into one individual case due to him repeatedly not showing up for them when ordered to. On October 16, 2022, a new case was opened for Daniel for destruction of property. The details of this are unknown, and it is unclear as to what happened to cause this. Daniel failed to appear on December 20, 2022, and several other times after that. Eventually, his warrant was cancelled on June 21st, 2023. On May 15th, 2023, Daniel posted that overnight he was given a citation for sleeping at MTA subway station. He said that it was a $100 fine and posted a video that briefly shows the ticket on his TikTok account. So now we're going to go into a bit more of his dine and dashing incidents. So on January the 19th, 2023, he was arrested for attempting to dine and dash at a cheesecake factory in Anaheim, California. He was charged with defrauding an innkeeper and received a $950 fine. And then following that, on July the 11th, 2023, he walked into a local Walmart in a fit of rage after having the dog that he adopted, called Music, rescued from him. He proceeded to destroy several stands of merchandise, as well as attempting to hijack a bus full of elderly people, which ended up with him being pinned to the floor by several police officers while he cried hysterically about Music, his dog, being dognapped. When he retold this incident, Daniel claims that he was illegally arrested and placed into police custody unfairly. So, on the same day as the 7-Eleven incident, Daniel live streamed an interaction he had with EMTs after calling 911 multiple times. While he was in the ambulance, a police officer was able to charge him $500 for damages to a wall at the School of Mines. Daniel admitted to his crimes, claiming he damaged the wall to make sure he was heard and that this was serious. On October 3, 2023, Daniel Larson was taken into custody at the Jefferson County Detention Facility in Golden, Colorado, for missing his court date the day prior. A few hours later, however, he was later released through means of being bonded out, and little is known about this arrest. In 2024, on February the 3rd, Daniel Larson had a warrant issued for his arrest for being a fugitive of justice. On January 23rd, 2024. He would later be arrested on February 3rd and booked into the Arapahoe County Jail with a bond of $20,000 after he failed to show up to court. The jail arc would commence, and he would remain in jail for 4 weeks. On February 14th, he was transferred to the Boulder County Jail, and his bond was lowered to $5,000. He was released on March 1st, 2024, after a court hearing. Only a couple of months later, on March the 19th, Daniel Larson would be arrested again for a warrant of fugitive of justice. He was booked into the Broomfield County Detention Center and was held at a $1,000 bond. He was released after 3 days after a court hearing with his probation reinstated. Daniel Larson would be arrested for the 4th time in 2024 on April the 2nd for, again, being a fugitive of justice. This was caused by missing court on March 27th, 2024, despite showing up very late. He was arrested on the bus and booked into the Douglas County Detention Facility and was held at a bond of $1,500 before being released the next day. Daniel Larson was arrested for a federal warrant on all the threats he made from various meltdowns, all of which were investigated by Daniel McDougall starting in the summer of 2023. He was booked into the Jefferson County Detention Facility and was ineligible for bail, possibly indicating felony charges. As the charges were much more severe than the previous ones, this commenced the second jail arc. The charges were revealed later, and he was transferred to FCI Englewood the next month, where he has been institutionalized since July 19th after being found incompetent to stand trial, likely due to his mental issues. He was transferred out of that place on December 10th, 2024. On May 1st, 2024, he was arrested and had been charged after sending alleged death threats. So this is just an expansion on what I had mentioned previously about him being a fugitive of justice. So essentially, these threats were of him threatening to blow up FBI headquarters and several government buildings in Colorado, in addition to the White House. And he was charged with several counts of, quote, use of or threatened use of explosive material, unquote. The United States has since requested that Larson remains in custody for the duration of his trial, and Larson contested the suggestion for being detained for the duration. On May 10th, a judge granted the request and explained the reasoning behind this move in court documents. So the judge goes by Judge Reed Narrator, and he wrote, quote, I find the following. The defendant is charged with multiple counts resulting from threats to bomb public places, including a Colorado courthouse, the University of Colorado campus, a nonprofit center in Lakewood. He also threatened an FBI agent and threatened to bomb the FBI headquarters. These threats are widely transmitted publicly via the internet, usually on videos, via apps such as TikTok or YouTube." Unquote. The judge also went on to say that Larson's mental health issues and his living situation also explained why he chose to drop the case. The judge said, quote, "Mr. Larson appears to have mental health issues. He has been homeless for years, and it was represented by counsel that he makes some money from his internet posting and may receive Social Security benefits. He is unemployed and has no stable place to live." Unquote. The judge highlighted that it was not clear whether Larson would actually act on his alleged threats, or even if he had the ability to act on them. So this incident damaged his reputation, but also highlighted the underlying issues that has been present throughout his rise to fame. In the next part of the video, I'll be talking about his online presence and his overall problematic behavior, including his pedophilia allegations and racist language. And then after that, I'll be talking about his incidents with Bob Proctor, which is a pretty big part of his life. So let's get into it. So his pedophilia allegations. Just as a heads up, I got a lot of this from Reddit, so a lot of it is speculative, and I'm not trying to accuse him of anything or anything like that. I'm just trying to, talk about what the current public opinion of him is. Now, although he was faced with serious allegations of inappropriate behavior, including claims of pedophilia, which has been widely discussed and criticized within online communities. So, from what I understand from this, he was essentially a Christian kind of person, except instead of violating a demented old woman, he was violating multiple children in the group homes and facilities that he was in for years. The problem is that the staff of the group homes didn't really know what he was doing, and what's even worse is that the sexual abuse he claims to have received when he was 15 is speculated to be a lie, and due to inconsistencies and the time period of his own sexual abuse towards other younger children, that he is actually the one that abused the kid and not the other way around. And apparently a video came out confirming that he was not only sexually abusing girls, but boys too. I couldn't find this video at the time that I'm writing this, although maybe when I'm editing it, I can insert it, but if not, then I don't really know where it is. It's lost on the internet somewhere. What tends to be a common theme for him is that he gets caught being a pedo, lies about it, makes up sob stories, and then admits after saying it's because he wants fame when he gets all this public backlash. And the good thing about this is that when he was actually found out for this behavior in his facility homes, he was kicked out and arrested, which is why he is classed to only male adult caretakers, one of which was Bob, but we'll get more into that later. So even before he became famous, he was partaking in sexual abuse of children. People were saying, oh, instead of jail him, put him in a home facility because jail would be too harsh, but that doesn't really make any sense because when he was in those homes, he was still a complete asshole. Um, however, um, this is from someone else on a Reddit post. So this person is claiming that there's no actual proof of him committing SA. So I don't know about the video then. Although there are some disturbing videos with a girl named Brianna, but nothing is confirmed from this. And then they go on to say he is 100% a predator and does seem to like younger children, but he has also been manipulated to saying things, so it's hard to tell what's real and what's not. I'll have to agree with this. It is very hard to tell what's real and what's not, given the fact that people on the internet can take things way overboard, and a lot of these accusations, they might be based on things that are true, but might not be 100% true, which is again why I'm saying this is all speculative, and I'm not trying to accuse him of anything because that is the legal system's place to do. But one good thing is that no evidence of CP has been found on his phones, excluding obviously his Pinterest account. But that wasn't exactly a CP, it was just normal pictures. He also has been a very proud user of the N-word, which he uses very casually in a lot of his videos. I managed to find a video from someone on Reddit of all the times that he's said it on TikTok, so I will be inserting it here.
Ellie, you are a nigger.
For all the people that are literally right now not believing me, you guys are fucking niggers. And I hope you guys go to hell.
So, I ball so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. But first, niggers gonna find me.
Do you think I'm stupid enough? Like, I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about. Your name is Nick, last name Gurr. Put it together, nigger. Bitch. Whoever was just fucking messaging me could go to fucking hell, you fucking nigger.
Get the fuck out of here!
Okay, nigger.
Really? It's gonna be like that?
And then this fucking asshole nigger is pulling out in front of me.
Wait, what? Whoa.
Otherwise, I will get the authorities involved. Because I'm in disability services and this is bullshit. So fuck you niggers.
Nigga, 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 nigga.
Cracko, you bitch. Fucking nigger. I hate niggas. I hate niggas. And whoever is this fucking asshole that's calling me, go to fucking hell, nigga.
Blake, you are a porch monkey nigger.
Are you recording?
Fucker.
Anti-Chloe is a nigger.
Be about his obsession with Grace Vanderval, which is a singer. He has made numerous unsolicited attempts to contact her and express his delusional beliefs about the relationship online, which has caused a lot of concern among fans and observers. And these are just a couple of TikToks that I've managed to find of him addressing this and speaking to her. And I don't know why, but he always puts these ringtone noises in the background of them. I don't know if it's on accident or on purpose, but it is pretty funny despite the situation. So those are just a couple of TikToks where he speaks to Grace. And they're pretty weird, but it gets a lot weirder. So just for a bit of background, Grace Avery Vanderbilt is an American singer, songwriter, and actress. And Daniel Larson has had an obsession with her ever since he was around 17 years old when he saw her perform on America's Got Talent. And ever since then, he's had an unhealthy obsession with her, despite her being underage for the majority of it. And his infatuation has, completely blown out of proportion, where he's convinced himself that he is a part of her life. And this imagined relationship progressed rapidly, mainly due to Daniel's delusions, which were encouraged by online trolls and people pretending to be Grace. He would later go on to post very explicit things to her, and he would also fall for people pretending to be Grace, you know, which is just sad. And then eventually, on the 17th of April 2024, Grace publicly acknowledged Daniel with a comment on her TikTok, calling him a pedophile who has haunted her life. Grace has then filtered out any mention of his name from her comment sections, providing additional weight to the notion that she is aware of him and detests him. Even more messages with her mother states that Grace and her family want nothing to do with him. So Grace's mom, Tina Vanderwall, has told off Daniel along with thousands of people online. And despite this, Daniel still deludes himself into thinking that he is truly dating Grace. So, on the beginning of May 12th, 2021, Daniel claimed that he and Grace had some sort of collaboration in the works that would be coming out soon. And then, in a later post to TikTok, Daniel claimed that they were dating. And then it just, became even worse from there, where Daniel recorded himself on several occasions telling strangers on the streets that he was dating Grace. And it gets a lot worse because Daniel has recorded multiple videos of himself moaning and whispering in a sensual manner for Grace's viewing pleasure, and also recorded himself having an orgasm whilst whispering her name. He's in a completely contrasting manner. He also posted hysterical videos about her breaking up with him, calling her a bitch, and other really rude words. He then went on to make apology videos for the sexually charged videos. Regardless, he still continues with his disturbing behavior. And throughout all of this, Daniel was very aware that Grace was under 18, and made several posts claiming that he would, quote, wait until Grace is 18, unquote. And he is claimed to be either in a romantic or a sexual relationship with Grace, depending on his current delusions. If it was more romantic, he would claim that she was his girlfriend. If sexual, he would explain the various explicit acts that he would like to do to her. And then something that I found on Reddit was essentially he kind of exposed himself from his own camera roll with Catfish Convos, which included a photo of Grace from when she was way younger. And he's shared online and asked if she was doing stuff to herself in such a photo, if you get what I mean. But the odd thing about it was that she was very, very young in this photo, and she was just sitting down. She had a pillow on her lap, and it was just like a regular photo that a family member would take if you're just like relaxing on the couch in your pajamas, and he was alluding to the fact that she was masturbating, which is incredibly weird given the fact that she looks around 14 to 15. But the funnier thing is that he's later gone on to say, and to say that he is in fact a pedophile. This is a TikTok that I found where he was trying to do an apology video aimed towards her and her family, but again, he would apologize and then he would continue with this incredibly disturbing behavior. And now And now for the final part of the video, we'll talk about his incidents with Bob Proctor. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I'm not so sure. I'll just call him Bob. So Robert Bob Proctor is a very important figure in Daniel's life, and he has known him since childhood. He was Daniel's mentor and one of his greatest financial enablers. Bob took on a very hard task of becoming Daniel's guardian, which, exposed him to the full force of his anger management issues and poor financial habits. Bob is later on involved in some of the most infamous incidents in Daniel's life, most notably the December 10th incident and August 31st incident. So, throughout Daniel's music career, Bob served as a patron, paying for the production of most of his most famous song, "Roaring Thunder," and encouraged his further musical endeavors. Even so, Daniel has done nothing but take his generosity for granted by frequently getting into arguments with him, assaulting him, and wasting away the money that Bob gave him. Bob has been aware of Daniel's social media activity and has repeatedly requested that Daniel to not film or record him, citing concerns about potential harassment from online trolls. At one point, Bob even asked Daniel to refrain from using his phone altogether due to Daniel's irresponsible behavior on social media. Obviously, Daniel has not respected these wishes, which ended up getting him involved in a physical altercation with Bob, which ended up in the authorities having to be called. On Christmas 2023, Bob stopped providing financial support to Daniel and was thought to cut off Daniel permanently. However, following Daniel's arrest on the 30th of April 2024 and his subsequent incarceration, Bob seemed to have occasional contact with Daniel over text messages. However, as of December 2024, it cannot be confirmed if such contact continued. So, the first incident that we're going to talk about is the December 10th incident. where Daniel had a meltdown in Bob's car whilst live streaming on TikTok. This occurred on his TikTok account at Daniel Larson 62 and is widely considered to be the most infamous of Daniel's meltdowns, due to him beating up Bob, who, by the way, is an elderly man. The meltdown was triggered by trolls impersonating the motel on the phone, who threatened to kill Daniel if he returned. The incident included physical violence, with Daniel hitting himself to a point of bleeding, and then he hit his mentor Bob, who called the police. So I managed to find a clip of the live stream, which I will play in. Throughout the live stream, Daniel can be seen crying and repeatedly yelling, "The motel threatened to kill me." He can later on be seen holding a bloody napkin, the result of a nosebleed. Throughout the video, he keeps asking Bob for help, who repeatedly tells Daniel to get out of his car. Daniel then starts punching himself in the face whilst accusing Bob of hitting him and breaking his arm. Bob responds angrily, claiming that Daniel was the one who beat him and that he didn't break his fucking arm, quote unquote. After this, Bob threatened to call the police. Daniel responded by hitting him. After this assault, Bob proceeded to call the police. And whilst he was talking with the 911 operator, Daniel yells that he needs help and that they, referring to either Bob or the motel, supposedly had a gun. Daniel would then begin posting on his YouTube community tab, saying things such as he lost his care services and was now financially responsible for everything. It has been speculated that the following may have happened. Daniel was kicked out of the motel that he was staying at due to destruction of property such as microwaves, windows, and other things similar to that sort. And then Daniel's motel information was leaked, which led to trolls calling the motel and complaining about Daniel, to which the motel responded by sending the manager to talk to Daniel about it. Daniel claimed to have received calls from the motel, stating that if Daniel attempted to come back, they would kill him, which was obviously from trolls. However, Daniel took this at face value, which caused his breakdown. Afterwards, Daniel went live on YouTube whilst in an ambulance, and he ends up completely lying to the EMT in the ambulance, telling them that the motel called him and threatened to kill him with a gun. Hours later, Daniel would post on YouTube community posts that Bob was going to, quote, put his music career on hold for a few weeks, unquote. And he also said that Bob bought him a plane ticket to California, which would be immediately confirmed confirmed by a picture of him at Colorado Springs Airport, as well as a picture of him going through airport security. Daniel was then flown to Los Angeles on a Southwest flight. This was considered by many in the community to be the most significant Daniel incident in 2022 and possibly for his entire career, which ended up being extremely controversial as he physically attacked Bob for, by the looks of it, no reason. Many were furious at Daniel, saying that this was the most obvious example of his gaslighting. Others said that this was a prime example of his mental illness and delusion, as he clearly believed that the motel was actually threatening him. His meltdown was a clear example of his poor ability to process emotions, which could be from his autism or a different mental illness that he has. I'm not a professional, so obviously I will not be diagnosing him with anything. Although he was assaulted, Bob never pressed charges against Daniel for this incident, which was very nice of him, but I think he should have, because there needs to be a line that Daniel can't cross, because from the looks of it, Daniel has been to court several times, and he's gotten off very easily, and he needs to really face the consequences of his actions. But most importantly, it was speculated that at the time, Daniel was sent to Los Angeles because there was a law in California, the 550 law, which allows an individual to be placed in a psychiatric facility if they are a danger to themselves or others. This case would have applied to Daniel as he had assaulted Bob. However, so this was almost a 40-minute video on one guy, and honestly, I really scratched the surface. I think there's a lot more to say about this guy, but this is where I'll be leaving it off for today. I did find a couple of other TikToks of him being rather controversial. One was him arguing with Bob Protector, and then another one was him trashing the house of a foster family that was taking care of him, which again just goes to show how reckless and irresponsible he is. And he really needs to be held accountable for his actions. He's currently facing the possibility of 65 years in jail, but I will make another video talking about that. But this is where I'm going to leave it off for today. Thank you for listening. If you want to buy some funny merch of Daniel Larson, be sure to check out the description box below. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.
I may die. It doesn't matter.
So you're saying wow.
I'm old and I have this tension in my life all the time now. And have had. What's Daniel gonna do? What can I do for Daniel? Daniel's gonna blame me for this. Daniel's gonna blame me for being homeless.
No, I'm not. Okay, whoa. I've never blamed you for that. Never in my life would I.
Well, but you keep calling me and telling me this is this and this is this. And
I'm just. We had a deal, and you broke the deal.
what deal? I haven't broken any deal.
Yeah, the music deal.
I didn't break it.
Yeah, you did.
You got 2 songs out of it so far.
Yeah.
The one that you started and left.
What? I left the other song? What?
What deal did I break? You're going to keep me on this deal for all my life. The shorter the better.
So, wow, so you're literally doing a death wish? Wow.
It's what's going to happen. It's not a death wish, Daniel, but it's going to happen. And the more tension, the sooner it's going to happen. Quit recording everything on the phone.
Wow. What the fuck?
I'll let that flood. Hey everyone, Jonas left that on right now. Jonas left that on. He's gonna burn down the house. Keep that running. Does anybody know how to change clocks? I'm washing my hands, everyone. It's morning, guys. Hey, I'm up on the counter, guys. I'm up on the counter. How long can I keep this running for? Hopefully they have to pay for it. It's gonna be clean.